Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Farm Sim 25, and welcome back to our Calmlands Survival Challenge. I just cannot overstate how much I love this view. Like, this is one of the nicest spots I've ever had in any Farm Sim game that I've played. Now, obviously, I'm kind of limited, but I love coming over here and just kind of chilling, listening to the sights of the river, or listening to the sounds of the river, like enjoying the sights. It's beautiful. It really is. But we got work to do. It's July, which means we got our harvest to take care of our wheat as well as our grass. So let's go ahead and feed Raja. Raja, come here, girl. Get over here. I got some food for you. Good girl. It's an interesting way to eat, but I don't blame you. Good girl. All right. Let's get our eggs sold. You guys know the deal. We got over $500,000 in the bank, y'all, after selling our stuff in the last episode, our soybeans in the last episode. But our cows, our chickens, they're all doing just fine, so we don't have to worry about them. Milk is okay for the time being. So we're going to open up the shelter. Our workers, after realizing that we can totally get the work done without them, have decided to come back over and say, okay, as long as you're willing to pay us, we will work together. So it's always a good thing. So apparently, they're a little, tissy fit. I promised them I would pay them, but they were all about that. I need my money now. You know, I'm pretty sure they've been watching those late night commercials. It's my money and I need it now. You know, but unfortunately for them, it saved it to 47 meters. Wasn't that nice? That's never happened before. I'm glad it did. Oh, is it because I'm not taking the mower off now? I bet that is. Well, that's perfect. All right, well then get to work. Who we got here? We got Ashley. Okay, Ashley, you do you. I'm calling her Ashley. Okay, don't worry about it. Anyway, while she's doing that, I think it's only right that we go ahead and start harvesting. So let's run over to our harvester over here. By the way, I did go ahead and buy a corn header. Went ahead and bought the big corn header. So next year we will be planting corn in place of our soybeans. I do want to start the crop rotation, but you can see over here we've got our normal grain header and bean header, our little thresher header or whatever draper header you want to call it. And then, of course, we got our corn header, which I had to buy a corn or a header trailer for the corn header because it didn't come with wheels like this thing did. So, yeah. Needless to say, it's time to get to work. We got some wheat to pull up. Let's go cut some wheat, shall we? Now, we don't have to drive to it because the field's right here, which is pretty convenient. Oh, God. I crashed already. How have I crashed it already? That's impressive. Apparently that pipe that comes out the back, you should probably wait until it comes all the way out of the shed. We'll go ahead and get it unfolded, and we'll hook it up to our big old header here. Now, every single time we've done this, we've forgotten to reset our straw swap. So we want to make sure that it is set up this time. Thank you to, I forget who called it out, but somebody did mention that whenever you go from like a straw crop to a non-straw crop, it resets it. I didn't know that, but now I do. The more you know! Anyway, we're going to get this party started. We're going to go ahead and do this one ourselves. We're going to set it to 49 meters. You guys know the deal. One good train deserves another. So let's get this party started. Good thing is, with this big of a working with, it doesn't take us very long to get this field done. This field's really, really small compared to what we use this thing for normally. So, it only takes us a minute or two to really crush this field into submission. But chickens are happy whenever we do. And we will be putting all of this wheat into the chicken trailer. We still have a little bit of wheat left in the silo, I believe. Dadgummit. Can we cut it? Thank you. Good job. Alright. Turns out those straw piles can kind of throw things into a weird spot. But I digress. As we pick up our wheat, I'm trying to think of what we do next on this beautiful little farm series that we got going on. We finally finished the big field, and that is the biggest field that we're ever going to get on this map. There's not an option for a bigger field that we can really do, because I'm not going to cut any of the roads away. I want to keep the roads that the map creator put in as part of the map, right? I don't want to replace any of those roads with field, so that kind of limits our field options, or at least the field size anyway, by a little bit. We'll get over here, knock this out, and we'll spin around and go the other direction. That's fine. Just go. But yeah, so my next thought is, what do we want to do next? We've been doing, like, everything that we've done so far has been revolving around the dairy farm, and then we did chickens, and we've got grass and silage and all that stuff. We've got soybeans, and now we're going to have corn going. So my next thought is, what kind of field would you guys like to see done next? I know somebody mentioned root crops the other day. If I'm going to do root crops, I want to do that as its own, like, individual thing. Like, I don't want it to be, you know, just kind of thrown in there as a side project. If I'm going to do root crops and all of that tediousness, I'm going to do it as a full-on, it's a own, like, series. You know what I mean? We could be like a potatoes farmer or something. I think that would be an interesting thing. I've never actually done potatoes. I've done a little bit of root crops here and there, and they're extremely tedious. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of, like, torn as to what I should do with my next field options. I already have an idea where we want to put our next field, but yeah, we'll have to see later. We will be doing soybeans next, so we're going to go ahead and set this over here. We will have it set on the wheels, so let's go ahead and fold that out now. Alright, set her down and detach. And then we can go put this in the silo. And then we got to get out our forage harvester, or forage wagon, pick up our straw. And somebody parked a truck right in the way. I don't know who would be goofy enough to do that. Like, literally couldn't have parked that thing in a worse spot. Okay, there we go. Close enough to the trigger. There we go. Alright. Now we can park our harvester. We're done with it for the time being. At least until October. We'll fold her up. Try not to crash it again. Perfect. All right, let's go get the big boy out. We'll grab our forage wagon, and we'll get that work done. Hopefully the AI will be, hopefully Ashley will be done with her field quickly. We'll go pick up the forage wagon. I'm pretty sure I filled it up before we parked it, so we should be good to just go grab everything. We do have, now obviously we're going to be picking up straw first, so silage additive don't really matter, but either way, we should be able to just cruise right through here. Pick up all of our straw. I also want to check and see how much straw we actually have, because I feel like one of the things that we need to make sure that we're doing is if we have excess, we sell it off. Like, obviously we need what we need for the animals, but that's fine. But we also, if we have excess, we need to be selling it off. Otherwise, we're just wasting money. And that's no bueno. Go in between these two rows here first. Should be able to pick them both up at the same time. And same thing over here. In theory. Beautiful. Another 483,000 liters of straw. Go ahead and put that in the thing. I'm going to have to look and see how much straw we have in the actual storage. So I feel like it's quite a bit. So let's get out and take a look. So we currently have 956,000 liters of straw. That is more than we will ever need for the cattle in 1 year. So we can definitely sell off some straw this year. And I think I'm going to go ahead and fire Ashley. And do it myself. Because I can do it quicker. Now that we've proven that we can actually do this faster than the AI can, it just makes sense that, like, when we're done doing what we're needing to do, we can do it ourselves. Save ourselves a little bit of money, but also some time. And then while we send our worker over to the other field to start working on that, we can jump in the fertilizer spreader and start fertilizing. I really do wish that the AI would start working at the same pace that this thing is capable of. Like, I'm not sure why AI doesn't do that, but is what it is. Like, if the implement is capable of 32 miles an hour, like, that's what it should work at. But yeah, we'll get through this and we'll jump in the Massey Ferguson. We'll start fertilizing while this thing goes off to the other field. Because picking up all the stuff doesn't take that long. I feel like it takes a little bit longer to do the fertilizing. Now, we do need to spread lime this year too, or this cut. So we'll hit some lime in the middle of the summer, which seems like a terrible idea, because I feel like that would stunt the growth for the rest of the year, but we do need to lime the fields. At least the grass fields. We'll check the wheat field as well, but at minimum we got to lime the grass field. We'll set this thing over to the other side, and hopefully she'll be good to go. And then we'll start fertilizing. Ouch. Alright. While she's working on that, we would jump in the old Massey Ferguson. We'll grab our lime spreader first. And then we'll check and see exactly who needs the lime. I know our grass fields do, but we'll check and see if the wheat field needs it as well. Alright, so precision farming, pH level. The wheat field actually looks okay. I don't think we need it there, but we definitely need it on our 3 grass fields, for sure. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, let's get it going. Probably should have picked up the grass first, but it'll be fine. This area up here definitely needs some lime. Alright. As you can see, it doesn't take that long. Definitely should have picked all the grass up first, though. Looks like she's still working over there, so we're doing okay. As soon as we get done with this row, we'll go ahead and move her over to the final field. Let her cut that grass. All right. Go ahead and jump over to this one. I know she always misses a spot down there, but it's fine. We'll go ahead and jump over here. Start working on this field. Alright. While she's working on that, we get to keep working on this. Definitely needed some lime on these grass fields. I noticed it when we were selling off our soybeans. We had a really poor pH score, and these grass fields were the thing, or were the reason. We do cut these grass fields like 3 times a year, so it does make sense that we need to lime them more often. But you really don't need to lime all that often. But for whatever reason, the grass fields definitely need it more often than not. Again, I assume it's how many times you get a harvest off of a field before it needs lime again. In which case, having three harvests a year, you go through 3 times as much lime. In theory. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We got this one and then one more row, and then we're done with the lime on this field. We can head over to the other field. Although I think I will, before we lime the next field, I think I will just pick up all the grass so that I'm not doing parkour in a tractor. Last thing we need is to be doing like motocross jumps in a tractor. It would get expensive real quick. Alright. That is done. Let's go ahead and head down and we'll grab the pickup trailer. Go through, pick up all of our grass. Because by the time we get done picking up this field and the next field, she'll hopefully be done with the 3rd field. So we can pick it all up at once. And then we can take this over and lime the next field. Hopefully. I think I'll go ahead and start filling this thing up with lime again, too. Even though I'm pretty sure we would have enough. Doesn't hurt. Let's go ahead and let that happen while we're moving on to the next thing. Alright, there's all of our grass picked up. We'll go ahead and dump this into the silo. Just double check before we dump it in the silo which silo needs it. It looks like this silo. Okay. This is our original, so we'll go ahead and dump this in here. This can now be parked. Of course, I should probably fill it up with the silage additive before I park it again. I like to do that so I don't have to think about it later. Beautiful. Alright, shut that down. Grab this. Let's head over to the other fields. I'll have her go ahead and start working on liming this next field. I say her, it could be a guy too. You never know with the AI. But I'll have the AI start working on this field. And while they're doing that, I'll bring this home and we'll hook up to the fertilizer and start fertilizing the big field. Not going to worry about disconnecting the mower for now. Should just be fine. We're not going to be using the mower, so it shouldn't take any extra power off of the tractor. Not sure if the weight will cause an issue or not. Oh, I see an unforeseen issue. Yep. Pick up our mower before I forget. All right, let's go ahead and go forward. I will go ahead and make sure that we pull all the milk out of here first. That way I ain't got to worry about that. How are we looking in terms of milk over here? We've still got 63,000 liters. Now, I did start making butter and milk bottled as well. The reason being is I thought maybe that would help us go through more milk faster. I don't know if that's true. In my head, that's the way that works, but only time will tell. But for now, we're going to go ahead and go forward into August, and September, I believe, will be the next month that we actually have to do something, and that's plant the wheat, which won't take us very long. Just go ahead and go forward real quick. We'll check on all of our animals before we go too crazy. All right, so from a grass standpoint, all of our fermenting silos have grass except for the last one. So we're doing okay there. We're going to be making money off of selling the silage. Our cows have plenty of straw for the month. We have 8,400 liters and plenty of TMR as well, although we will have to fill those up. And then as far as chickens go, We have plenty of food there as well. So we're doing okay there. Perfect. All right, well, let's go forward into September. We will plant our wheat. Actually, I'm going to have the AI plant the wheat. While they're doing that, I will talk about what we want to do in the next area that we're going to buy. Or the next field that we're going to create. Let's go ahead and feed Ranja. There you go, Ranja. Let's pull our eggs. Oops. Let's fire up the big boy. Get it hooked up to the planter. And let the AI start working on planting our wheat field. Set this to wheat. Unfold it. Plant this field with a 49-meter planting width. And let it go. And while that's working, we are going to discuss what we want to do going forward. So this area here seems to be the obvious next choice. The reason being is we've already bought some of this land. Now we would still need to buy these two pieces here. And we would need to buy this piece here and this piece here. So let's see what that's going to look like in terms of price. If we were to buy this grid square, let's go to farmland. This is $157,000. This is $107,000. 173 and 185. So that's quite a bit of money, and that would allow us to plant this entire area here as our next field. We could potentially buy this too, but I don't think that we will. Let me visit real quick. So let's look at this area right here. You can see there's trees in the end of this plot. So obviously we'd be limited in terms of how far down we could plant. And I'm just looking at the mini map at the same time. So it looks like we are going to be fine to not buy that plot number 41. Because, yeah, this is well within the plot, so we're good. So obviously we would turn the field around before we get to the trees. So I think that's what we're going to do. Wait, why? Wait, is my... Hold the phone. No seeds. Ah, it's set to buy fertilizer. Stop buying fertilizer. Yeah, gummit. I was wondering why my money was going down. But one of the things that somebody mentioned in a previous episode was that when I was planting my soybeans, this wasn't putting any fertilizer down. That's because soybeans in precision farming, they don't require any extra nitrogen. So it's not a bug or anything like that. It's not an oopsie by me. That's just the way the game works. So when you plant soybeans in precision farming, you don't actually have to worry about having extra nitrogen. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. If we want to go ahead and look at buying this land, I think we go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and buy this piece of property. It's $157,000. We'll buy this piece of property. But the problem is, I guess it doesn't really matter if I buy this, because those are still going to work, and we're not going to have to worry about selling at the grain silo anyway, because we always sell at the farmer's market, so that's not a big deal. So we'll go ahead and buy that. That's $107,000. Okay. That leaves us $456,000. We will buy this. And that leaves us $283,000. And we will buy this. So, what we want to do next is we would go in and make this field. But what do we plant in it? That's the big deal. Also, is that an actual tree or is that just the map being goofy again? For some reason, this map is a little bit weird with saying that there's things there and there's not, especially trees. And I think that's the case here because I don't see a tree. In theory, there's supposed to be a tree right here. Clearly, there's not. So, the mini-map is a little bit awkward, and that's one of the things that have kind of got me during this map. But we now have another huge field ready to go. So, I'm excited for that. But what do we plant in it? That's the big deal. What do we want to plant? Whoops. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to get in your way, and we screwed it. We'll have to fix that. That's totally my fault. Anyway, like I said, what do we want to plant? If we look at what we're doing, I'm thinking, since we already have wheat, we could do some oats for that field. That would get us even more straw. We could do barley. Could do canola. Although canola, I feel like you would need to build an oil mill and all that to really make that worth it. I don't really want to do cotton. I've done that before. Just looking at the options here. And I'm thinking that maybe we do sunflowers. What do you guys think about that? How big is that field going to be? This is going to be a pretty decent sized field. A little bit skinny. Maybe, I mean, we don't have the money right now, but maybe we do like this field and this field as sunflowers. That way we would have like two major fields. Now, we're not going to be able to do that all at once, obviously. We'll need 190,000, 185,000, and then 173,000. So we're going to need like another $500,000 in order to do this field as well. But if we start doing sunflowers, like I've never actually done sunflowers on a large scale. I think that could be a lot of fun. Also, it'll pay my nieces back. So you guys don't know, I have 3 little nieces, and when I first showed them my farming simulator, because I don't let them watch my channel a whole lot because most of my stuff isn't really kid friendly, but my farm sim stuff is pretty tame, so I don't mind them watching it. But I was letting them see the beginning of this series, and they were getting mad at me because I was destroying a bunch of wildflowers to put in our grass field and so on and so forth. So this will be a way to get them some flowers back on the field, or back on the map, for all the wildflowers we've destroyed by putting in some beautiful little sunflowers. I think that'd be perfect. I'm settled. I know I said I was going to let you guys help me decide, but I think I actually just came up with it right now, right on the fly. I think we're going to plant sunflowers. When does sunflowers get planted? Because I've never actually done sunflowers. They get planted apparently in March and April, which is fine, and then they get harvested in October, November. Okay, so if we plant in March, they get harvested in October, which is fine. And then when do sunflowers sell? I'd imagine we could just sell them straight as sunflowers. They get sold to the farmer's market. Maximum price looks like it's going to be $805, and they sell in March. Okay. Just something different. I want to try to do a little bit of different stuff here and there. I might go ahead and just knock that field out now. We won't be able to plant it until March of next year. Actually, come to think of it, I say that. When does oats get harvested? Oats get harvested in... Okay, July and August. Okay, I thought something gets harvested around that time. That maybe we would be able to do like a placeholder crop sort of deal. But it doesn't look like that's the case. Yeah. Everything else that we could do, we could throw some oilseed radish in there for the winter, and then but we would have to till that under when it come time to planting. All right, looks like the AI is finished, even though they did a terrible job. So we will finish the little spots that they seem to have missed, and then we'll go grab our plow. And we'll go set that new field in. Alright, let's go get our plow. Let's go make us a new field, y'all. And then next month we get to harvest our soybeans. And that's pretty exciting too. But we should own all the property that we need to make this field. Inside the boundaries of the road, obviously. It's always exciting to get new fields set up. At least it is for me. I love making new fields. That's why I love these maps like Calm Lands, New Frontiers. Forget what the map, No Man's Land, all that stuff. I used to have so much fun on those maps as well. Like, I love these types of maps. Alright, so we are going to set this to allow create fields. We're going to drop her down and let her rip. I do wish there was a version of this that would go faster. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love the working with, just wish it was faster. One other thing, if we start doing sunflowers like this, we could also end up buying an oil mill and doing sunflower oil and canola. So maybe we throw some canola in as well in a different field, and then that would give us multiple things to use the oil mill for, which might come in handy. Don't think we need the map up because we own all the property, so I don't have to worry about boundaries. I'm just going to keep it inside the roads. Alrighty, so we have officially finished the field. And as you guys can see, it actually took a lot longer than you'd expect. It's bigger than it looks. That's what she said. Anyway, we got it done, man. This is going to be our soybean, or not our soybean, our sunflower field when we get the chance to plant it. Now, I do still want to add this to the field. I think we're going to leave this road down the middle. And then when we get a chance to buy all this land here, we will add this to our sunflowers. And we'll have a giant area of just sunflowers here. But yeah, I mean, at this point, we might as well just finish up this map. Like, just buy all of the map at this point. Because we've already done, I mean, once we buy this section through here for this, like, I mean, that's well over half of the map. And then it's maybe a third of the map left. I think we've got about 2/3 of the map, or close to it. So, yeah, I feel like we have to. But look at the size difference between that field that we just did, which took about an hour to complete, versus all of this that we just did. We are going to go ahead and buy the soil information, so we might as well do that. That'll give us a chance to see just how much field we actually own for the new field. So let's go ahead and get the calculator out and get ready. So for the first area, this one's going to be the awkward one because we are going to have to buy the soil information here. It's got 8.1 acres. Most of that is probably going to be this, so we'll call it 5 acres. Okay, so we'll start with 5 acres for this. And then, of course, this one is going to be the small one. That's 1 acre. Then we've got this one, which is 17 acres, although I'd say it's pretty evenly split between the two, so we'll call that... What about 7 or we'll call it 8 acres. Err on the side of the smaller side. We've got this one here, which is another 1.37 acres. Then we've got this chunk here. This is 18.72 acres. I'm going to say the majority of this is probably for this field, so that would be probably 10 acres. And we've got this one here. It's another 2.59. Then we've got this field here, which is another 11.88. We'll call it 11 because I know this field kind of dips down into the other field as well. And then that just leaves this, which looks to be about maybe 2 acres. Yeah, we'll call it 2. All right. Purchase the soil information. So there we have it. All of the new field has been measured, and that brings us to about 41 acres for this field, which seems about right to me. We'll see how it ends up, but that seems pretty much right. Now, that does bring our tillage score down a little bit. But we'll have to deal with all the rest of it as we get time. May need to throw some lime. Obviously, there's no nitrogen on the field at the moment. This field up here is actually going to be a problem. I'm going to pretend that this does not exist. Okay? We are not going to do anything with this little farm up here. I'm going to pretend that we bought the land inside the road, and then whoever still owns that chunk of land still owns that back there. But yeah, we're going to work on buying the rest of this stuff through here as best we can anyway, because I do want to try to like buy the map at this point, or at least the majority of the map. There's no reason not to. We can have some pretty awesome fields, I think, and make the map look pretty cool. But yeah, I'm super excited. But yeah, with that being said, I think that's where we're going to end the day. Let me know what you guys think about our sunflower plan. Yeah, if you got any more suggestions, let me know. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.